Hi, welcome back to Watch It Played. My name is Rodney Smith, and I know I weirded out some of you in the last episode when I started by saying that we had no mistakes that needed correcting. I want to assure you we're very much back to normal around here, and this time around we do need to start by correcting a couple of mistakes. In the last episode, I had my tank busters attack Luke's laser grenadiers, and he did a hit the dirt reaction. For that, he took a reaction token and a suppression token. But we forgot, when I actually resolved my attack, I also rolled some hits, so that means that unit should have taken another suppression token, which we'll add now. Also, when I attacked Luke's guerrillas with my hammers, he did an attack reaction. And so when I did my armor roll, I said that I'd be able to roll 3 dice, which is absolutely true. However, I picked up 4 dice and rolled 4 dice. So, the nice thing about that is even if we remove one of the hits that I rolled, it doesn't change the outcome from the combat. But just in case you saw that and wondered, what is Rodney doing? I don't know what Rodney was doing, but it was a mistake. I should have rolled 3 dice. I also made another goofy little mistake when I mentioned that the sniper team has a spotter in it, and that the benefit of the spotter is that when the sniper goes to attack, the target has to ignore cover and doesn't get to roll armor. That's actually incorrect. That's the ability of the sniper model itself. He's able to pinpoint his target through cover and find the weakness in the armor. The spotter's ability is he can use those binoculars that he has to more accurately help out the sniper so that instead of rolling hits to hit, the sniper can roll misses to hit. Okay, well, I think that's all of the mistakes. When we come back, we're going to continue with Luke's unit phase. All right, well, we're back, and I've been joined by
Luke Smith.
That's right. Now, listen, there has been a lot of conversation around what to do for this turn. The most that we've had so far over at our Board Game Geek Guild, I gotta thank 3 Minotaur 3, Vapor Wolf, Alex, and Jay Kitchen, because those guys have been really trying to work out what is the optimal strategy here. And there are a couple of big threats on the table right now. What do you think the biggest threats are?
Tank busters and hammers.
Yeah, those really are threats. And it's very difficult to know how to divide the Axis's attention to deal with both of these threats.
Yeah.
So we're taking little bits and pieces of everyone's suggestions and throwing in some of your own ideas as well, right, Luke? And we're going to try, hopefully, to create a really interesting unit phase for your Axis this turn. Not too interesting, I hope. But shall we get to it and see what happens?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
So to start, I'm going to move my heavy recon grenadiers so they can hit the hammer.
You're going to hit the hammer, are you?
Yeah.
Well, we've done a little bit of pre-measuring here, and Luke knows that that's less than 6 inches, so we don't have to measure that. He's bringing these guys around. And this measuring tape here was meant to measure 16 inches because he doesn't want any of these heavy recon grenadiers to be closer than 16 inches.
Yeah.
If he was closer, there's a chance my hammers on my turn might be able to move in and be close enough to do close combat. This way, they're just within range to shoot their weapons, which I think is what you want to do next. The real challenge in this decision was whether or not the heavy recon grenadiers should go after the hammers or after the tank busters. Both of them pose quite a threat to Luke, but I think our concern was if he doesn't handle these hammers now, he may not get another good opportunity. These guys can be quite devastating once they get within close combat range. So Luke, you want to do an attack action.
Yeah.
How many dice do you get to roll here?
6.
6 dice. Go ahead and roll them and good luck. Well,
3 hits.
That's very good. Now I have to roll my defense. I get an armor of 3. I don't get to take advantage of cover. Now, technically, following the rules, if you're to draw a line from the leader, he does cross a little bit of terrain, this wall. But we house ruled that they're on top here and there's no barrier in front of them, so there really shouldn't be any benefit to cover. And although his line would technically cross this wall, because the leader is touching the terrain, you ignore this terrain.
Yeah.
Here we go. Enough talking, enough delaying. Here comes my defense.
Yes!
That is not so good for me, but pretty good for you. So I'm going to have to take away 2 of my models. And so I'm going to remove these two, leaving my leader behind. And because hits were rolled, I do have to put a suppression token on my unit.
So next, I'm going to move and attack with Ludwig.
We got another one of our crazy cross measurings here. Luke's going to move forward, and you're going to turn, right? 90 degrees. There we go. So I'm going to slip these out of the way. You place it down right there. Okay. We wanted to make sure that Luke was within 16 inches of my tank busters, because that way he can use both of the weapons on that vehicle, allowing you to roll how many dice?
3 dice.
3 dice. The main objective here is to try to put some suppression token on these units because they're behind hard cover. So it's going to be very hard to actually remove any of these models. Go ahead, Luke, roll it up and let's see what you get. All right, we have one possible hit right there. I'm going to roll my defense.
Yes!
Well, remember, I'm behind hard cover, so I actually have 2 automatic successes. So that doesn't count. But you did succeed in placing a suppression token on the tank buster unit.
And that's all I want to do anyway.
It's going to prove very handy in a moment.
Yeah. So next I'm going to use my laser grenadiers, but first I need to see if I can remove suppression.
That's right. Now how many dice do you get to roll?
2.
2. 1 for each suppression token. Go ahead and roll them. If you roll some hits, you can remove some suppression.
Yeah.
Hey, not too bad. So you can take away one of those suppression tokens. The only problem is they still have a reaction and a suppression token, so they can't actually do anything during this unit phase.
So next, Sigurd is going to shoot for those windows at those tank busters.
Okay, now how many dice are you going to get to roll?
2.
2 dice. Go ahead and roll them up. Very nice. You got 1 hit. Now the nice thing about this laser weapon that Sigrid has, for every hit she initially rolls, she can then take another die and roll that as well. Go ahead. Okay, that one was a miss. Well, I'm behind hard cover, so it's going to block this damage anyway. But you do get to add another suppression token. So now my tank busters have 2 suppression tokens on them.
So now I'm going to move my zombies up to the tank busters.
Now the trick here is at the beginning of Luke's unit phase, there wasn't any reaction tokens or suppression tokens on these tank busters. So if he had tried to move the zombies in at the beginning, I would have been able to do an attack reaction.
Yeah.
And that might have killed some of your zombies. But now, because they've been successfully suppressed, they can't react.
Yeah.
So you've been able to safely move into close range. Now, don't forget you have to bring that reaction token around with them as well. Okay, well, I think that's all of your units. Okay, so now it's the end phase. We get to remove 1 suppression token from every unit, as well as all of the reaction tokens. And then because it's the end phase, we can remove one of these turn markers. That means we're now starting the 4th turn. All right, we're getting ready for
the initiation phase.
Okay, I get to roll 5 dice. You get to roll 5 dice. I'll roll first.
Okay.
3. Woo. 2.
2.
All right, well that means you're going to be the initiating player and I'm going to be the responding player. So let's start the command phase.
So my first order will be the fail-safe order.
And who are you going to give that to?
Laser Grenadiers.
Right, because they lost 2 models in the last turn.
Yeah.
So you get to roll 2 dice, and every hit will bring back one of those dead Laser Grenadiers as a zombie. So go ahead and roll. Let's see what you get. Ooh.
1 back.
You do get to bring 1 back. So why don't we take one of the zombies that we already removed from the game. Now you have to place that zombie within 3 inches of your Laser Grenadiers.
Why don't, right there?
Okay. And place the model. Perfect. Okay, well you've now added a new unit. Now this unit, I'm not going to get any points if I take this unit out. It's not worth anything. And he's actually armed with combat knives instead of the regular power gloves that he has. Okay, Luke, you have 1 order left. Do you want to use it on anything, or?
Oh yeah, I'm going to attack the tank busters.
I thought you might. So you get to roll a total of
6 dice.
Go ahead and roll them, Luke. Just don't roll them too well. Okay.
2.
You didn't roll them too well. I appreciate that. I get to roll. I get to roll my armor roll. Okay. I didn't roll mine too well either. So this means I actually lose 2 of my models here. I'm going to have to remove these 2 models here because I don't want to lose the unit leader. Good attack, Luke.
And I have to add a reaction token.
And because hits were rolled against them, I need to add another suppression token to the Tank Buster unit. Now, before we go on to my command phase, just so we can keep these two different zombie units separate, I'm going to place a blue token beside this one, just as a reminder that this is the unit that has the combat knives. Well, I am in quite a pickle, as they say in the military. I doubt they say that. I'm going to give an order to my last remaining hammer model here. And rather than go run and hide, which I certainly considered, I'm going to jump him behind this crate. Hopefully be able to keep him in hard cover from those heavy recon grenadiers. And maybe even anything else that might attack it. Now, I've given it an order, so I also have to give it a reaction token. And that's going to be my first order. Now, my second order, no surprise, I'm going to call in an artillery strike. So only if I roll the die and get a hit can I do the artillery strike. There it is.
No!
So my observer team, which is located here, is spying through the windows over there at the Ludwig and the Laser Grenadiers, and that's who I'm going to target with my artillery strike. I'm going to roll against the Laser Grenadiers first. I get 5 dice, as usual. And I've rolled 2 possible hits. Now, Luke, you get to roll your defense. Why don't you try throwing them over across the table to me, and then we'll see what you get.
Ugh. 0.
No blocks.
Nothing.
That means both of those models are being removed. So you can take away the Laser Grenadiers, and now I'm going to roll my dice that are going to go against that Ludwig. And for that, I'm only going to get to roll 1 die. But again, if I roll a hit, it's 3 potential points of damage. So here we go. It's a miss.
Yes.
And because they received an order, they'll have to take a reaction token. Well, it's Luke's unit phase once again. You know what that means. We have to end the episode here and turn things over to you guys. I don't know what to take away from that unit phase. I mean, you definitely accomplished what you set out to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I was a bit concerned that I am in trouble, honestly. But being able to knock out those Laser Grenadiers means I have 45 points and you have 51 points. So I am closing the gap a little bit here. There's a chance yet for me. A small chance. But honestly, I still have a couple of units that are, on the brink here. I have my hammers. I have the Tank Busters, 1 model each. So those are just points waiting for you to grab. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next phase, which we'll find out when we get the feedback from you guys. So over at our Board Game Geek Guild, put a link for that on the screen. You can go over there. You're going to see some updated pictures of the battlefield. Have some discussions. Talk about what you guys think Luke should do for his unit phase. We'll take the best options that we see there, and we'll include those in the next episode. Until then, thanks for watching.